Hey guys, how you doing? It's Lee here from the Free Hammers. Hope you're all doing well, although that might be a bit of a weird thing to say because the full-time whistle's just gone and we've just lost 2-1 to NK Domzale. This is going to be a very short video just with my thoughts of the match. Anyway, let's start with the lineup. We lined up, perhaps surprisingly, with Adrian in goal. I thought Randolph would have played in the cup competitions, but Adrian got the start. The back four, which we'll come on to in a bit more detail in a second, was from left to right, was Byram, Reed, Nordveld and Antonio. Three in midfield were Kiarte, Noble and Obiang. The two wingers were Faguli on his debut, of course, along with Nordveld. On the other side, they tell me that Enna Valencia played, but having just watched that match, I'm not convinced he did. But apparently, Valencia was on the left wing, and up front was Andy Carroll. I won't go into the Domzale side because I'm pretty sure, well, A, none of you are that bothered, and B, even if I said it, it wouldn't mean much to many people watching anyway. So the match kicked off. I thought Carroll looked really sharp from the start, as did Faguli. He looked quite quick on the ball. We made an okay start. It wasn't brilliant. They were very dirty, I thought, Domzale. Certainly in the first half. Second half they didn't need to be because we just didn't play. Committed quite a lot of fouls, not many yellow cards. Carroll was fouled about 3 times, I think, even before they got their first goal. Anyway, the first goal, catalogue of errors, started with Antonio losing the ball high up, actually, on the right wing position. And they broke really quickly. But then we just were completely exposed. Reed came charging out, and the ball finally broke. And the shot came in. And it hit Nordveld, it hit him on the chest. It was never a penalty. Not sure why the ref gave it, to be honest. But he did, and their bloke stepped up and smashed it past Adrian for 1-0. It was still early on. There was enough time for us to fix it. And indeed we did, almost immediately, actually. The ball lofted into the box. It was sort of half cleared. And then Sam Byram did really well, actually, just to nod it back in. And Reed was clattered by their goalkeeper. In my view, definite penalty. Not being biased in any way. Definite penalty. And it was 1-1. And at that point, where we were bossing possession, we bossed possession throughout the match, but you would have thought that we could have gone on and, well, as I said in my preview, that a draw would have been a great result. But it didn't really happen, and other than a couple more sort of half chances in the first half, it was Domzale that could have easily have gone in ahead. We were exposed time and time again in the full-back positions. A couple of balls got fired across goal. One in particular where the ball was swung in and their guy had a free header, and he should have hit the target. Adrian would have struggled to get it, I think, if he did. He didn't. He headed it wide, and really we should have gone in at least 2-1 down at half-time. But we didn't. It was 1-1 at half-time, and even at that stage you're thinking, you take that, didn't you, in Europe, 1-1 away from home, come back to the Olympic Stadium, you don't even need to score, a 0-0 draw would be a decent result. Second half starts. It's difficult to talk about the second half, really, because there wasn't much West Ham involvement in it, to be honest. They bossed it. Obviously, we bossed possession, but in terms of chances and things like that, it was all Domzale. We didn't play. We looked really, really tired. Carroll faded badly. Faguli faded badly. Antonio had a nightmare from start to finish, really. Every player just looked really, really tired, and it says a lot that we had to bring on a 16-year-old to try and save the game. Not long into the second half, Domzale took the lead. Same guy who scored the penalty, cutting in, exposed in the fullback positions again. Nordveld comes out, tries to close him down. He cuts inside and puts it into Adrian's bottom left-hand corner. It was a good goal. And it ends 2-1. The rest of the match was pretty much all Domzale. They passed it around time and time again, exposed their back four. Sam Byram and Mikel Antonio are both playing out of position. If they're getting exposed like that against a team that finished third in Slovenia, I fear for what could happen at the start of the season. We've got to do something about our fullbacks. If this match has shown anything, hopefully it's shown Slaven Bilic that Mikel Antonio is not a right back. He was really badly exposed in this match. As for the whole back four, Nordveld, again, he's not a centre half by trade. He's played most of his football as a defensive midfielder. It showed. Reed didn't look his solid self alongside him. Byram, you know what you're getting with Byram. He's solid. A couple of times he gave the ball away unnecessarily. Overall, it wasn't a good game. Enna Valencia just didn't show up, and the couple of times where he did manage to wiggle through, he ended up giving a really bad cross into the box straight into the keeper's hands. And when they were 2-1 up, again, it could have easily have been 3, perhaps even 4. Fantastic double save by Adrian in, I think it was around about the 89th minute, where the guy had the shot which he palmed away, and then the bloke followed up, the substitute followed up, and he really should put it away, but Adrian stuck out a leg and managed to make the save. It's not all doom and gloom. I'm not one of those that are going to start crying. I'm not even going to go on Twitter tonight because I know it's going to be full of people really worried about what's happened. Don't be. We've lost 2-1. Domzale, congratulations to them. They deserve the win. We looked tired. Our passing wasn't right. It just wasn't a great night, to be honest. Yeah, that's about all I can say. I'm trying to think of some positives. Nordveld looks like a great passer. Faguli, when he, in the first sort of half an hour, looked bright, looked quick, looked willing to take a player on, but faded badly. Valencia, if Galatasaray were watching that, they're not going to spend any money on him. I find it hard to believe. Just not a great night all round, really. But it's not over. We're 2-1 down going into the first ever game at the Olympic Stadium next Thursday. And we're still very much in the tie. Let's not look at it anyway. Other than that, is that it could have been a lot worse, but we've ended up losing the game 2-1. It's an embarrassing result. Don't get me wrong; it is not a good night for West Ham United, but it's only half of the game, and all we have to do next week is win 1-0, and we will be through on away goals. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's not really massively bad. The players will have another week of fitness under their belt, because as I've said a couple of times, it really showed today that we lack the fitness, so hopefully that will pay dividends next week. For now though, if you want to look at some more happier West Ham stuff, check out our podcast, which is up on our YouTube channel. We went into detail with all your questions that you asked us, and we enjoyed filming it this week because there were so many questions and we had a few debates, a few disagreements, and it was really good fun to film. A couple of people we like to give shout outs to the West Ham Banter page. Check them out on Facebook mainly, but also on Twitter, and then also the West Ham Collective. Go to their website and also their Twitter page. But I think there's only one thing we need to keep believing. We need to keep believing that this time next week we'll all be standing in the queue at Stratford Station, waiting the hour or so to get back onto the tube or the overground, seeing us having turned around what has been a bad night for West Ham United in Europe. But until then, I'll see you soon.